and gentlemen, how is everybody doing? My name is ToneshaJade. Welcome back to the channel. We got a very special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is ToneshaJade.
Where can they find you?
They can find me on TikTok and Instagram.
So, Tanisha, you've been blowing up. Like,
Yeah.
you've got a lot of attention. How is that scary? Like, how is that?
It's it's pretty exciting, but also pretty scary at the same time because it's happened so fast. I started doing this in November,
Yeah.
and yeah, I've gotten way more attention than I ever thought I would, and it's alarming, but it's really fun at the same time.
And I think so a lot of creators kind of have their thing. You know what I mean? Like a lot of creators do their thing to get them big. And you just do rankings. You do rankings, you do parties, marriages, like you do so much stuff when it comes to like rankings and it's very entertaining to watch.
Good. Good. I'm glad to hear it.
Look, there's a lot we're about to get into. There is a lot going on in wrestling right now. So much.
Yeah.
And first and foremost, I do want to get this out of the way. Even though that you are my guest, please feel free to ask any questions. If you got something you want to throw at me, I'm ready. Um,
Okay.
so the first question that I want to ask is I ask everybody this so I know how deep I can go, how not deep I can go. When when did you start watching wrestling? Did somebody get you into it? Have you watched it for a long time? Like, what is your wrestling knowledge?
So I started watching back in 2005, actually, a long time ago. My dad was just channel surfing and he stopped on wrestling, and I was like, oh, who's that? And it was John Cena. And I was like, he seems really cool. And ever since then, I have been hooked. My life has not been the same since then. So I've been watching for about 20 years now.
So I have a very similar start. However, mine is very not John Cena. My dad was channel surfing and he stops at this show and they were wrestling, but I didn't stumble upon Raw or SmackDown. I stumbled upon NXT when it was a game show.
Yes.
Yeah, that was very like that. That was something back then. That was really something back then. Look,
Yeah, that. mm,
WrestleMania's this weekend. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna talk predictions later. Look, I told you before we started that you're gonna get exposed, and it's gonna happen. I don't know if anybody
It's good.
knows this, but you gotta tell people. You gotta tell the truth about Dominic right now.
So I thought that I was pretty open about how I felt about Dominic. I guess not. I love Dominic. I do. I'm a big Dominic fan. I pretend that I hate him because he gets on my nerves sometimes, but I love the dude. I gotta be honest.
He's doing his job right. I mean, they always say that
Yep.
that the actors that you hate is because they do their job right.
Yeah,
Speaking of
I agree.
people getting on our nerves, what do you think of Logan Paul's new finisher, the pulverizer?
I I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't really know what it is because I don't pay much attention to Logan Paul. I big Logan Paul anti, big not a Logan Paul girl.
Okay, I understand. Hey, I get it, but I guess we have to kind of put respect where respect is due. He is good in the ring.
Sure, but he can go be good at other things somewhere else.
I'm assuming, with that being said, one of the matches at WrestleMania is Logan Paul versus AJ Styles, and I'm assuming you're gonna choose AJ Styles.
Yeah, that's who I would want to win. I don't know that he will though. That's it is what it is. It's fine.
Yeah, I feel like Logan Paul has. I don't know. I don't want to say kind of been screwed because when you talk about Logan Paul, he's either screwed or not, and he's lost a couple, big matches at PLEs over the past almost year. He was United States champion, which I guess we don't talk about that because that wasn't even. Okay. So first question, next question I want to ask: have you been to any WWE PLEs?
I have not been yet, but I will be going to my first one. I'm going to Backlash next month. So,
Okay, where is Backlash at?
it is in St.
Oh,
Louis,
you're right.
Missouri.
Okay, so
Hmm.
alrighty. Okay, so, um, wow, have is it okay? Well, I thought you would have been to a lot more. Being a wrestling fan for almost 20 years. That's interesting. Okay, is there
Hmm.
a wrestling PLE that probably all of them? But if there was, I don't know, let's say two wrestling PLEs, is there like two of them that you wish you would have gone to because of something that happened?
Yeah, I think a lot of people can agree with me that I wish I was at WrestleMania 40. I'm not gonna lie. I really wish I was there. Um, just because that one is like probably the best one out of all the modern eras. Sure, recency bias, I guess, but
So
and then sorry, go ahead.
so I was no. What was the other one?
The other one would probably be um the 2008 Royal Rumble because that's when John Cena came back from injury, and that was really exciting. So I was like, dang, I wish I was there. So
That is a good answer. I could have gone to WrestleMania 40. It's just their tickets are so damn expensive.
yeah,
I
yeah,
I
too expensive.
I live in Ohio, so I'm not far from Pennsylvania. So it could have probably been like a 5 hour trip, and I would have been there. But I don't have that kind of money for tickets. I have been to a
Yeah.
few wrestling PLEs. Um, the ones that I have gone to, other than the past two, I feel like I've got screwed over. So getting redeemed kind of feels nice. I went to the Money in the Bank where Sheamus won.
Okay.
I went to that's when Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose had that ladder match, and Seth Rollins ended up winning. Um,
Okay.
I went to the Extreme Rules where Finn Balor lost against Roman Reigns because the turnbuckle supposedly snapped. Yeah, you don't look happy about that one. Yeah.
I have like not the greatest memory, so I'm trying really hard to remember these. I'm like kind of do, but
There's one you probably won't remember. I went to a No Mercy. It was AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose, and John Cena in the main event. So like that was pretty cool.
oh, okay, yeah. I think I remember that one.
And the two recent ones is I was in Chicago for Survivor Series when CM Punk returned. I did go for it was my 21st birthday. So that
Okay.
was pretty exciting. And I went to SummerSlam last year in Cleveland. So that was really fun. I don't know which one is better. I really liked SummerSlam because it was my first time in a stadium. So, like, that was cool. But, like, it's CM Punk. Come on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get it.
So, every time I have to ask, is John Cena your GOAT?
Yes, 100%.
100%. Wow.
I've
Even,
never once changed my answer.
are, are you liking the stuff he's doing now?
Yeah, actually, I screamed about it at first. I was like, what are we doing? Why? This is painful. I feel like my heart just got broken in front of everybody. But I think, yeah, I think I do like it. It's interesting. It's something new. It's something he's wanted to tap into for a while. So I'm definitely interested in what they're going to be doing with him.
Yeah, it's kind of a full circle moment. I mean, he didn't really come in to the business as a heel, but like
Mhm.
shortly after, in order to save his career, he changed to heel. So like, it's kind of a full circle moment, which is interesting. Um,
Yeah.
so I have a question. I've asked this question almost
Mhm.
every interview that I've done. Do you have? I want to ask you two because I feel like they could kind of go hand in hand. Do you have a wrestling hot take, just a wrestling hot take in general? Doesn't matter what it is.
Mhm.
And then do you have a WrestleMania hot take, like something should have happened at a WrestleMania that didn't?
Hmm. Yeah, I definitely do have just a general wrestling hot take. I have a lot. And the one that pops into mind first, I'm so gonna get canceled for. So I am not an Undertaker fan at all. Um,
Wow.
yeah, like not in a disrespecting his legacy kind of way. Totally respect that and everything, but when I was really little, he kind of scared me. And then as I got older, I was just like, I don't get it. What is so interesting about his gimmick? I don't understand. What I yeah, so I'm not really a big Undertaker person.
I don't know if this will make you feel better, but my wrestling hot take will indeed probably get me canceled. I have
Okay.
said this for years. I will stick by it. I thought that I was
Sure.
in the majority, and then when I stumbled upon the wrestling TikTokers, I am not in the majority. I'm probably in like the bottom 1% of this hot take. So I started watching wrestling in 2010, and I am the complete opposite of you. When I started watching wrestling in 2010, when I started watching Raw, I started watching when NXT was a game show, so there was a lot going on at the time. 2010 to 2011 to about like 20, I don't know, 15 was deemed as like the worst years of wrestling ever. You could probably even go to like 2019 if you want, but I didn't know who to like at the time. So Miz was the WWE champion at the time, so I was like, you know what? He's my favorite. And everybody liked John Cena. I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. I didn't like John Cena. So my wrestling hot take is because of nostalgia purposes, WrestleMania 27 is in my top 5 favorite WrestleManias ever because of the Miz retaining the championship at WrestleMania. Now, looking back at it, I know why people hate it. There's not a lot of good matches on the show. I don't know if you remember WrestleMania 27. I don't know if you remember anything that happened.
Barely,
So
barely.
WrestleMania 27 was the no holds barred match between Undertaker and Triple H.
Mm.
Classic. And you had
Mm-hmm. Yes.
oh my god, I'm gonna get probably some shit for that. I think it was Rey Mysterio versus CM Punk. That was a good match. And then you had The Miz versus John Cena, and then Rock coming out and Rock bottoming Cena and having The Miz win. So like that is
Yeah,
my wrestling hot
yeah, I
take.
remember that.
Speak
That's interesting.
Yeah. Speaking of WrestleMania, I gotta tell you, I'm pissed off. Look, there's nothing. I do not have any. Like, I don't hate the New Day. I don't hate the War Raiders. I think they're great tag teams.
Okay.
But what the hell is WWE doing? Not putting the Street Profits. Hear me out. Street Profits, Motor City Machine Guns, DIY, and Pretty Deadly in a fatal 4-way ladder match at WrestleMania. What the hell?
I am so upset about that, especially because if Randy doesn't get his match anymore, you could replace his match with the Street Profits if you really wanted to. And they built that up so much, and then they're just putting a random title match the night before Mania on SmackDown and just toss the New Day and War Raiders into the mix. I don't understand it. That is like my only gripe about this year's WrestleMania. Is like I don't understand that booking decision. That's
I think it's because I don't know. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, then I'm just racist. I think
uh,
I think there was a statistic that went on that the reason why they added the New Day is because there were no black males on the WrestleMania card. I could
the
be
Street Profits.
well, but that's what I'm saying. Like I heard that since there were no like black or something about New Day or something about black males on the WrestleMania card. That's what I heard. I don't know how true that is, but like
I don't know. I don't think because if that was the case, then they could have still put
right.
Street Profits on there and even included Legado del Fantasma. Now you got
They
like
speaking of Legato, they're so good.
they're starting to grow on me a little bit the more they get featured.
Like they are so good. You know what? Speaking of, we talked about Dominic, and I want to get your opinion. Look, I know everybody is looking forward to John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. It's the match that everybody wants, and the triple threat match between Punk, Rollins, and Reigns. Everybody's talking about those two matches. I get it, but here's the thing: that those two matches are actually not the match that I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the Fatal 4-Way Intercontinental Championship match.
That's absolutely valid. That is up there with me. As soon as they announced it, I was like, "Oh, that's up there for me."
I love Braun Breaker.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's really, really good in the ring. I think he's really good on the mic. I think he's one of the most underrated guys on the mic right now. He's very good on the mic. I love Penta. I mean, I didn't watch a lot of Penta before he arrived in WWE, and then I went back and watched his match when he fought Chelsea Green. Oh, yeah.
What?
If you have not seen Penta versus Chelsea Green, go watch that match.
No one told me anything about this.
Yeah, I think, I don't know if it was in Lucha Underground or some on the Indies, but it was when, Chelsea Green versus Penta. It is a classic. I would highly go recommend and watch it.
I'm watching it after this.
Now, let's talk about the Judgment Day. Is it done? Are they
Oh,
over?
jeez. Yes,
Yeah?
they have to be. They have to be. I can't take it anymore. They have to be over. And Finn and Dominic are one inconvenience away from just mauling each other. It's coming to an end.
I think Liv is going to betray Dom. I do.
You think so?
There was something I heard.
Go ahead.
There was something I heard a long time ago. I don't know. I don't know how true this is, but apparently there were a couple things where like Liv and Finn were kind of looking at each other, and I think if it's gonna happen, then they're gonna screw Dom.
I hope not. Oh no. I really wanted Dom to be the one to betray all of them, but that's just because I like him the most. But to be fair, that kind of makes sense because I don't know if you remember, but Finn was the one talking to Liv and got Dominic to betray Rhea for Liv. So they're already in cahoots from the jump. So, I mean, that checks out.
Sorry to ruin your WrestleMania.
If they screwed Dominic, I'm literally gonna cry on TikTok Live. I can't.
I was there at SummerSlam when Liv kissed, when Dom kissed Liv. So I don't know how to feel. I would absolutely hot take. This is a hot take right now. If Dom walked out of WrestleMania Intercontinental Champion, I would not be mad in the slightest.
No, I will jump for joy. That's what I want. I want him to do that. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
This is going to be kind of hard to talk about because I have heard this. Let's talk about Jay and Gunther.
Okay.
I think the hate is forced. I really do.
Towards Jay?
Yes.
Or towards... Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with that. I talk about this a lot with other wrestling fans, but I think that there's this weird dynamic between fans and stars that they like, where they love the rise to the top, but the second they get there and they start getting the opportunities they so desperately wanted them to get, they try to tear them down. And because people wanted to see Cena win and everything, which I did too, they hate him now. And I don't get that. You all were just rooting for him to be this main event guy. But because he beat Cena to do it, now you change your story.
Same thing with LA Knight.
The same thing with LA Knight, you think?
Yeah, like when LA Knight, when he was like on the rise, I mean, he's still over now, but like when he was on the rise, getting in, and when he got the championship match for Roman, everyone was like, oh, he's too old, he's not good enough, and he's on a really impressive U.S. championship run.
Mm-hmm.
And he's, and he's going against Jacob Fatu. I love Jacob Fatu so much.
He's grown on me a lot over the last couple of months. I can't even lie. He's crazy.
We'll do both. Other than John Cena, because we know John Cena is your GOAT. Of the men
Mhm.
and the women, who are your favorite superstars on the roster right now?
On the roster right now, okay. Randy is also another all-time favorite of mine. Seth Rollins, I adore Seth Rollins. Um, since you said okay, just the roster right now, because I change my answers a little. Um, Probably Roman. Roman's another one. Uh, for the women, Rhea, obviously, a lot of people adore her. Bianca and Io as well. Naomi, Jade, Becky, even though she's not like around right now, but um, and I think that yeah, Tiffany's been growing on me a lot too. I really like Tiffany Stratton as well.
Tiffany Stratton is my girl, and I gotta tell you,
Mhm.
I look, I don't know why, but I love mommy. I do, I really do. But like, there's a part of me, and I don't want to say it, but there's a part of me where Rhea's kind of starting to get on my nerves a little bit.
No,
It's
what?
just I
How?
like Rhea. I do. I think I wanted it to be a triple threat match. I think the triple. I think it's gonna absolutely tank. First of all, I didn't know Io was gonna win when she beat Rhea on that random Monday night to win the title. Everybody wanted
Mhm.
Bianca and Rhea at a match for so long, and now you at Io Sky. It's gonna throw the house down. But I don't know. Just I don't know. There's something about Rhea right now where I feel like the crowd doesn't know what to do with any of them. Obviously, they're going to cheer Io, but like with Rhea and Bianca, they're starting to boo Bianca, which doesn't make sense to me. And then they're also kind of cheering and booing Rhea, and they're at that weird point where like who's the heel and face? I feel like it's the same exact route as the triple threat match between the men, between Reigns, Punk, and Rollins. Everybody wants to cheer for Rollins because it's Seth Rollins. Everybody wants to cheer for Roman Reigns because Roman Reigns, if not if not Jay, might be like the most over guy in the company right now. And you have CM Punk, and I mean, you're not gonna boo CM Punk. You know what I mean? So I feel like those two triple threat matches are kind of like neck and neck with the fans. Don't know what to do, so it's probably confusing to a lot of people.
Yeah, no, I get that. And I have theories about what they're doing with this women's triple threat because I think it's a huge catalyst for other storylines. And that's kind of why some people are kind of like confused and don't understand why they decided to do this. But I love theorizing about the storylines. I know some people aren't super into that, but I am. I'm always trying to look for the details and the Easter eggs they're trying to drop to see if I can think about what's going to be happening next. And I actually think we're going to be seeing a Bianca Belair heel turn very, very soon as Mania weekend. So the booing actually makes sense to me.
You know, first of all, there's a match on the WrestleMania card that is getting so hyped for me, and I just can't wait to see Naomi and Jade absolutely beat the hell out of each other. But also,
Yeah.
if Bianca does turn heel, I don't know how like I feel like then the Jade and Naomi fight would kind of be a little pointless at that, like just a little pointless because you have Bianca, who's she wanted to get along with Naomi, and then all of a sudden Jade goes in and Bianca says you deal with her. And now they're fighting at WrestleMania. So what if Bianca goes heel, then turns her back on Jade, siding with Naomi, and then that would get us the match that everybody wants between Bianca and Jade. See, okay. See, now I'm locked in. Yeah, I'm locked in now.
Hmm. Yeah, because I think that Bianca has a huge part in why Naomi attacked Jade. I think she wanted her to do that.
That's a bold claim.
I've been saying it. I've been saying it for months. People have been telling me you are deluded. I'm like, no, y'all just wait. I'm telling you, because Jade and Bianca don't like each other anymore. They've been beefing on Twitter and everything, and they don't talk. So,
Speaking of Twitter, I saw this. I saw a tweet the other day, and I think it was from Lyra Valkyria, and it was so funny. And I want to get your opinion on it. Do you follow wrestlers on Twitter?
I do. I don't think I follow Lyra though.
Okay, so Lyra, I think it was Lyra. She posted a thing, and I want to know your opinion about it because it's really funny to me. She said, "Look, I understand that there are fan accounts and there are roleplay accounts on Twitter of wrestlers, people wanting to roleplay as us, people want to be fans of us. That's fine, but for the people who are actually literally pretending to be them, don't even associate with them. Like that's creepy." So I want to know your opinion about that. Like, what do you feel about fan accounts and roleplay accounts of wrestlers like on Twitter? I guess anywhere for that matter.
So, yeah, so I think fan accounts are perfectly fine and normal, you know. I think that it's totally fine to have a fan account for your favorite wrestler. I didn't know that role play accounts were necessarily a thing where they were pretending to be a wrestler. Like if it's like known that it's not real, then I guess that's fine.
Right.
But if you're actually pretending to be the wrestler trying to scam people or get attention or just do something, you're weird. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
No one's falling for it. I've gotten so many fake Drew McIntyres in my DMs. I know you're not Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
Why do you need $5,000 from me to go to Scotland? I'm not stupid.
Yeah. Ain't happening, buddy.
Yeah, no, like I'm not an idiot. Drew McIntyre's got money. He doesn't need my money.
Right. Now, Drew, listen, if you needed money, just saying. Okay. Do you play the WWE games?
I do. Yep.
Do you have 2K25?
Yes, I do.
What console are you playing on?
PS4.
Really? You don't have any of the newer consoles?
Mm-mm.
Hey.
Nope, no PS5 yet.
Is that a goal? Do you want to get a PS5?
I hope to get one soon because my PS4 is getting kind of old. But
Right.
it's fine.
Hey, it's okay.
Still works.
Hey, that is very true. It still works.
Yeah.
Have you been playing the WWE games for a long time?
So I kind of stopped playing them after they went to the 2K franchise. I used to play the Raw versus SmackDown ones way more.
Okay.
But I got back into it with 2K24. So
Okay.
I missed a big chunk of games there.
I mean, it's fine. You know what? The SmackDown versus Raw matters because I want to ask, what is your favorite SmackDown versus Raw game?
I think that it was probably either, I know I played '06 a lot, and I think that I played '08 a lot, so I think those two.
Okay.
Don't remember anything in them now.
Right.
But yeah.
So, in terms of a SmackDown versus Raw game overall, that I think was the best was 2011.
2011. I think I did really like that one too.
But 2008, in my opinion, has the best GM mode ever. 2K, yeah. However, 2K25 GM mode, I don't know if you played GM mode on 2K25. It is really fun.
Mm-mm.
It is.
I haven't explored it too much yet.
It is very fun. Okay, so you, when did you start? So you are known for your, I don't know if I'll call it a ranking. I know some of them necessarily are kind of rankings, but you are known for your ranking games on TikTok. When do you remember like when it started to get attention and when you were like, okay, like this could be something?
Yeah, so I had only posted like I think the very first filter game that I posted actually took off a little bit, got like 100,000 views or something like that, which I was not expecting, was not used to. and people liked it and asked me to post more. So I was like, sure, I'll post more. I thought this was just gonna die off. It didn't. People were giving me ideas, coming up with ideas, and it just kind of happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just didn't expect it. Wasn't trying for that, but it worked out, and I'm glad it did.
Yeah. So let's talk about WrestleMania. You did.
Hmm.
Let's go through the match one. I know you're gonna drop your match two. We can go through all of them if you want. It's kind of I want to talk about it. I haven't done my predictions, but I want to talk about what you think. I want to talk about who you think's gonna win, why. I'll throw in if I disagree
Yeah.
or not. We'll probably agree with most of them. So the first one I want
Hmm.
to talk about, first of all, I have to say this, and this isn't me being like biased, but I think Gunther and Jey Uso not main eventing is kind of a slap in the face to Jey. I mean, he's the first ever Royal Rumble winner to not main event a WrestleMania. He's getting a championship match on WrestleMania. So, like, he's still getting a match, but he's not main eventing, which do I think it's a little slap in the face to him, kind of, but if you also look at the caliber of the other matches, I still understand. I mean, like, this WrestleMania is absolutely stacked. Um, Jey Uso versus Gunther. Who are you picking?
Jey Uso, 100%, no question about it.
Um,
I guess you don't agree.
no, I think I'm remembering something. You don't like Gunther, do you?
Uh-uh.
Why? Why don't you like him?
It's nothing personal. I'm sure he's a great guy, but his character, his whole thing, like, he just bores me. I'm like, you come out there, you say a whole lot of nothing, and you leave, and you don't defend your title, like, ever. Which isn't his fault, I
Right,
understand, but
right.
like,
He is good on the mic.
but
He's really he. I think he's
yeah, I'll give that to him. Yeah.
okay. Now you're gonna have to remind me because I don't have anything pulled up of the WrestleMania Night One match card. um, I'm just gonna start throwing out matches as I remember. So we obviously talked about Xavier Woods and the War Raiders. I'm gonna be honest with you. If there's anybody, who do you want walking out?
See, that one is pretty hard for me because I feel like the War Raiders really didn't get much of an opportunity to really defend these titles or do anything with them
Right.
to try to get over with the crowd. So I would hate to see them lose them. But I'm like, I really love the New Day, and they also, since this heel turn, haven't kind of fallen off. And so I would like for them to be revitalized too. So, but I guess since I am a bigger fan of the New Day, I guess I would like to see them walk out with them. But I'm okay if they don't.
Right.
Yeah.
So I agree with you on that. We're gonna go take a step back. I also want Jey Uso to walk out as the world heavyweight champion. I think
Mhm.
it will be very fun. I think him doing it will be very interesting. I want him to have a little bit better of a reign than his Intercontinental Championship reign was, because I mean,
That was not good.
I don't know
That was
why.
terrible.
I don't know why the hell you take it off him just to prove a point and then make him lose it like 2 weeks later. That doesn't make sense.
Literally. I don't
Okay.
get it.
Oh man, I am okay. So we talked about kind of Logan Paul versus AJ Styles. Obviously, you want AJ
Mhm.
Styles to win. I also agree. I think AJ. I think if you want AJ Styles, I don't think it's gonna hurt Logan Paul because a lot of people don't like him
Yeah.
anyways, so it won't really hurt him. If if AJ wants to go back in the main event scene before he retires, because we don't have much longer with AJ Styles, which is very sad to say, but
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
think this WrestleMania win, I think it is needed for him.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree with that.
Oh man. Okay, let's go into kind of the match that let's go Jade versus Naomi. Who do you want walking out?
I love them both, but I think that this win is so much more needed for Naomi than Jade at this point. Because with Naomi's heel turn and everything, I just think that it would be a waste if she doesn't win because this story isn't just going to end after this main. It's going to continue
Right.
on. It's not just going to stop there. So I think they'll both have their moments, but I think right now it is way more beneficial for Naomi to win.
I agree with you. I'm actually going to. I wouldn't be upset. I'm going to be honest. I don't think I'm upset whoever wins. Whoever wins this match, I don't think I'm upset.
Yeah, I'm not either.
I think if Jade wins, she is a big name to win, and I think this would be like her really first big win in the company since coming to from AEW. So I don't really care who wins. I think I will agree. I think Naomi does need this. I want to talk about El Grande Americano versus Rey Mysterio. But we have to talk about this. We like justice for Chad Gable. What the hell are they doing? Like, it doesn't make sense why he's not getting a match on the WrestleMania card. That dude is so good at everything that he does. I mean, you put him in a heel spot, you put him in a face spot, he crushes it every time. So the fact that he's not on the card kind of makes me mad, just a little bit.
Yeah, no, I have to agree with you.
Yeah.
I find it absolutely disgusting. You know, I think that the people were really rocking with Chad Gable for a while, and now what? He just comes out in his little suits. He doesn't even wrestle anymore.
God.
Like, God.
But who are you choosing, though? El Grande Americano versus Rey Mysterio?
You know, just because of bias, I would like to see Rey win, but I do think it'd be really cool for El Grande Americano to win.
He's been impressive the past couple of weeks. He's been pretty impressive.
Yeah. Mystery man.
So we talked about the Fatal 4-Way Intercontinental Championship match. We did talk. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think this is a match. I know I said I would love Dominic to win, but this is another match that whoever wins, I'm okay with.
Yeah. I 100% agree.
If Braun wins, he will continue to go on a dominant run. If Dominic wins, this will just continue for his accolades to become one of the best ever. I think what he's doing is really, really good. I think him betraying his dad when they were tag teaming with Edge was one of the best things ever. If Penta wins, I think that could be interesting. Him versus his brother for the Intercontinental Championship would be a pretty good feud. And if Finn wins, it maybe like this might save him. It could save Finn's career.
It could, because this man, I feel so bad for this man. Like, I love Finn Balor. He deserves so much better than this.
Yeah. Alrighty, let's talk about the one match that is gonna absolutely kill on. I think it's night one, if I'm not mistaken. It is the triple threat match between CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins. Who are you choosing?
I'm going with the man that it doesn't seem like anybody thinks he's gonna win. I gotta root for Seth. I've got to.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I don't want him to win. I don't.
You don't want him to win?
I want CM Punk to win. Yeah.
I think CM Punk will win, but I want Seth Rollins to win.
That is the opposite. I want CM Punk to win. I think him winning his main event of WrestleMania match is kind of like, full circle. But I want CM Punk to win, but I think Seth will win. I mean,
interesting.
Okay. Let's talk about what WWE is doing right now with just adding like ridiculous matches on WrestleMania, and that is Raquel Rodriguez, Liv Morgan taking on the team of Bayley and Lyra. First of all, I wouldn't have an issue if Lyra was the Intercontinental Champion. Quite frankly, as a team, for the past couple weeks, I have enjoyed watching them. But obviously people are pissed off that, Lyra's the Intercontinental Champion. Why isn't she defending her title? Who are you calling to win?
See, that's another one that I've gone back and forth with. I feel like there is a really good storytelling opportunity if Bayley and Lyra were to win. But also it's just like, I just feel like that's like a slap in the face to the established tag teams they do have that aren't in this match. If they just throw this random duo together, they go and they win the tag titles.
Right.
Like, at either way.
Right.
Who,
Um,
yeah, who do you want?
oh, man. Probably the Judgment Day. I mean, it. If we're gonna have a team win, we might as well just have a established tag team win already. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not gonna make sense if Bailey and Lyra win, because then like Lyra's gonna have everybody on her back, and then who knows, WWE might pull the whole, oh, Bailey's challenging for the Intercontinental Champion, but they're tag champs already, which doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, this one is gonna be an interesting one. It is Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton.
Hmm.
There's a lot of outcomes. There's a lot of things that I've seen. Uh, I think you probably have a pretty big opinion on this. I want to tell you mine because I think, I don't know. Like, this one is very up in the air. I want Tiffany Stratton to win. That is like, I want
Hmm.
her to win. I want her to have her moment. I think Charlotte Flair can, uh, afford to lose this, but with how WWE goes, Charlotte Flair always wins big when she comes back. So
Hmm.
I would not be surprised if Charlotte won. What do you think?
So, me personally, I also want Tiffany to win. I think that this is a win that benefits her. Um, Charlotte does not need it whatsoever. And I understand why people think that Charlotte would win, but I don't know. I think that a lot of people have been really focused on the fact that she always wins and, you know, even Bianca Belair and her streak and everything. I'm like, I think this might be the year that that stuff kind of maybe gets swerved out. Like you're expecting it to happen and it doesn't.
Right.
So people are expecting Charlotte to win because she always does. Then, oh, well, Tiffany beat her. And I think that would be awesome
Yeah.
because she's so new to this, beating the 14-time world champ. Come on.
Now, other than the the women's triple threat matches, oh, well, is there any other matches that I've missed?
Um, Damien versus Drew. I don't know if we've talked about that.
Oh, okay. Okay. This one is very, very interesting. Um, I don't know what kind of like thing Papa H is smoking, but like there are some matches that I don't want to see, like Drew versus Damien. I didn't want to see that match. Like when it first got announced, there was no build up. There was like really nothing that happened. I thought Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest could have done something bigger at WrestleMania. Over the past few weeks, it's one of my most anticipated matches to watch. I am ready for these two to beat the hell out of each other. Um, I think it's Drew's time. I'm calling Drew McIntyre. I think Drew McIntyre has been screwed. I think Drew McIntyre, I mean, that's his character. I think he's been one of the best on the rosters for like the past year. Um, I think it would kind of be like a Cinderella moment for him to knock out the guy who beat him at WrestleMania last year, I believe, when he cashed in.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it would be kind of a Cinderella moment. I'm picking Drew McIntyre.
I'm picking Damien.
Wow. Okay.
Yup. I'm picking Damien.
Hey, I'm not upset. I like Damian Priest. I do.
Yeah, and like I just think that a lot of people, because they've been calling him a downgrade for Drew McIntyre, I'm like, oh, watch him win. How much of a downgrade is that?
Right, right,
So,
right.
yep,
And then
yep.
we have the women's triple threat match.
Hmm.
And this one's a toss up. I mean, like I still love Rhea. I really do love all of these women in this match. I think if I had to win, I just I don't know, flip a coin, really. Like in my honest opinion, um in terms of who I think needs it most, I think Io would deserve it. Like 100%. I love Io Sky.
Mm.
I would love Bianca Belair to win her title. Rhea getting it back. I don't think Rhea needs to win it back. I think Rhea's been champ for long enough. You know, like when she lost to Liv and then she got it back. So I think I'm going to pick Io Sky to walk out of WrestleMania.
That is who I predict will win. I'm always, anytime Rhea's involved, I'm always going to want her to win, even if
Right.
I know that she's not going to. Which I don't see her winning because I do think they have much bigger plans for her and her character that do involve her needing to lose for it to make sense. Um, I think that, yeah, I don't think Bianca's going to win. I do
Right.
think her streak does end this year. I think that there's going to be an interference potentially from Jade or Naomi that cost her. So yeah, and I think that Io retains because she's kind of been the afterthought in this whole feud, and she's the champion. So for the champion to be the afterthought is crazy.
Right.
So I think that she should win and keep it for a while. I think that, and then I think maybe her and Rhea probably feud after that. Maybe at the earliest, Rhea wins it back at SummerSlam or something.
Now, I know you say that you do like theorizing storylines, and there is one storyline that I have kind of like kept to myself because I don't think in a million years that it would happen. But the only way that I would really see Rhea winning is if essentially Finn beats the hell out of Dominic and Dominic shows up in the main event and distracts one of them, and then Rhea gets the win.
That is interesting. And hey, I'm not gonna lie. When I said I look for Easter eggs, I look. Dominic's been interacting with Rhea's social media posts a lot lately, and I'm like, why is he doing that? What is that about? Because she's not interacting with his at all.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, what is that about? Because he's Mr. Keep Kayfabe alive,
Yeah.
so that's weird that he's interacting with her posts right now. So that I don't know. I don't know if there's something going on there or not.
So I want to move away from wrestling a little bit because I think
Mhm.
when we talk, I think it's very interesting to learn. Like, for example, AJ Styles, he's a really big gamer. You know what I mean? Like, I
Mhm.
like how obviously wrestling fans is a hobby at this point. But is there anything that you are you watching any shows right now? Like, do you play any other games? Like, is there stuff that I guess you like to watch other than wrestling?
Yeah, so I have a few favorite shows. Um, Nothing like super new. I guess the newest thing that I've watched would be Squid Game, The Last of Us. Those are a couple of my favorite shows. But my favorite show of all time is The Walking Dead. Love that show so
Okay,
much.
so if my fiance sees this, just know that there's a possible chance that the wedding gets called off. I don't know if there is a man out there that attracts me more than Pedro Pascal. I don't know what it is, but like this is a spoiler alert for season 1. If anybody, have you seen season 1?
Yes, seen
Okay.
season one, played the first game. So
I haven't seen. I started watching season 2, episode 1 of The Last of Us because it dropped like 2 days ago. I started to watch it,
Mhm.
not that far into it. I finished season 1 yesterday, and there's a point where Joel is in the garage, and there's a guy beat the hell in front of him, and then there's a guy behind him, and he stabs this dude in the kneecap, and he's looking at him, and the guy's not talking where Ellie is, and Joel gets real close to him, and he whispers, "You look at me when I'm talking to you, or I'm gonna pop your fucking kneecap off." I gotta tell you, bro. Oh, Joel can have his way. Okay, I absolutely love. I think it's great. I think Bella Ramsey. There's a lot of thing going on about Bella Ramsey as Ellie. Sure, does she not look anything like her? Yeah, 100%. But attitude wise, that's Ellie.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that's way more important that you have somebody who can deliver the character
Right.
well rather than just someone who looks like the character. So,
So you say you're a big Walking Dead fan. I have watched
mhm.
up to season 9. And if anybody hasn't,
Mm.
here's what I'll tell you where I stopped. I stopped when they did it pissed me off. I want to go back and finish it cuz I'm almost done, but it pissed me off when they did that 6-year gap in the middle of the damn season after Rick left. Like
Yeah.
that aggravated me so much. It's like why not wait? Like
Yeah.
that made me so mad. Who is your favorite Walking Dead character?
My favorite, well, other than like the obvious of like Rick and Michonne, those two, but I really liked Carl.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
I thought you would like Daryl. That's interesting.
Oh yeah, I like Daryl too,
You
but
know,
I was just trying to think of like who's not the obvious answer.
so did you know that Daryl's crossbow is in the Smithsonian? Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, it's in the Smithsonian Museum. Yeah. And
I don't know anything.
I think my favorite Walking Dead character, I'm going to do male and female. My favorite female Walking Dead character by a long shot, and it's not even close, is Rosita. I I love
Mm,
Rosita so much. Male characters, man, that is tough. Um, Aaron kind of grew on me in like season 5. Gabriel really grew on me. Gabriel is
hmm
badass. But yeah, probably like Daryl, and Rick. I loved Shane. I like to think what happened if Shane didn't die, because like once Rick kind of like started like, oh, maybe Shane was right. I wonder what happened if Shane would still be alive. I really liked Shane. Do you like
hmm
zombie stuff? Is that like interesting to you?
Um, yeah, I guess so. I mean, my zombie knowledge is just pretty much The Walking Dead and The Last
Last
of
of Us,
Us.
right?
Yeah, but yeah, I love just even thinking about. I don't want it to happen in real life, but it's always nice to see wonder what I would do in this situation if this were to happen.
So, yeah, that's really interesting. So there is a zombie show. If you haven't watched it, I would highly recommend to go do it. It's called Z Nation. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but
No, I
it
think I've heard of
is
it though.
it's really interesting. It's not like it's really damn gruesome, but it's also like really good. In a zombie apocalypse, have you thought about where's the first place you're going?
Um, Not to the city. I don't know why everybody always tries to go to the damn city. That is stupid. I live in a small town, probably wouldn't want to venture too far out of it
Right.
because
Yeah.
it's less populated. I'm safer here. I'm not going to the city.
Right.
So,
Do you like any other sports?
um, I don't watch too many other sports, but if I do, it'll be like football,
Who,
maybe baseball sometimes. But
who do you
yeah,
root for football?
for football,
Yeah. Who's your
I'm
team?
a Chiefs gal. I'm a Chiefs gal.
Look, this is what I will say. Um, and this is no offense to you. I had much enjoyment watching the Chiefs get their ass handed to them in the Super Bowl. It's just I.
Uh,
However, however, and this like, look, I'm a Bears fan. I'm like Seth Rollins. I'm a Bears fan, but I'm
mhm,
also a football fan, and I will say that if Patrick Mahomes, if they go back to the Super Bowl within the next 2 years, there is going to be a conversation of Patrick Mahomes potentially being in the greatest of all time. It's not even like oh, it's should he be? It's he will be. You know.
mhm,
Um
mhm.
I mean wow, that is interesting. Chiefs fan. Wow. Do you like Taylor? Are you a Taylor Swift fan too?
No.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. Because a lot of Chiefs fans are like,
No
"Oh, I
way.
love Taylor." That's crazy.
No, I'm actually very annoyed when she started dating Travis Kelce and all they were talking about was Taylor Swift. That got on my nerves
Nobody,
greatly.
what's funny is nobody knew who Travis Kelsey. A lot of like women did not know who Travis Kelsey was until Taylor Swift started dating.
They were missing out.
They were
They
missing
missed
out.
out on Pete Kelsey.
Yeah, they were missing out. Like, oh, and Jason Kelsey and his
Yep.
podcast. I love Jason Kelsey and his wife.
Mhm,
So look, before this interview ends, because we're about to start approaching about an hour, I want to ask a couple other questions. So,
mhm,
you know, First of all, I want to say I appreciate you sitting down and taking the time out of your day to talk to me. I think, you know, um, it, it's really hard for me to kind of put it into words because I've already interviewed, a good handful of people about wrestling, and I think it's interesting. When I was in school, I was so embarrassed to go up to people and say I was a wrestling fan because they, they would say wrestling's fake, and I didn't have the knowledge that I do now, so it's like I didn't want to get made fun of. Now,
Mhm.
when somebody says wrestling, bring it on. You know what I mean? Like you want to discuss, we can have the chat. Um,
Yep.
so it's interesting because there's a lot of people out there who don't want to talk to people, don't want to talk to, like, I'm a really small creator, right? So a lot of
Mhm.
people, they don't want to talk to smaller creators because they don't benefit from it. What what is your opinion,
Stupid.
especially like WWE and just wrestling in general, like AEW, TNA, New Japan, like all of these promotions, wrestling is getting really, really big. What is your opinion about, like bigger creators working with smaller creators, especially now in a time where wrestling is becoming so much bigger than it ever was?
I I think that people should just go for it. I don't see why follow count matters. I don't care if I had 30 million followers and somebody else has only 30. Like, I don't know why I would turn them down for just like a chat, just to talk about wrestling. Because that's why I started doing this. I wanted to find people to talk about wrestling with. So I don't care how many followers you have. I'm not even a big creator. I'm really not. And so, um, but yeah, I just think that if there is anybody out there like that who's turning someone down because they're a significantly smaller account, get off your high horse and get over yourself. That's ridiculous. Like, we're all just here to have fun. Just
Yeah.
have fun, make friends.
There's I've asked this almost every time that I've sat down and talked to somebody. Is there a male or a female, whether they could be in AEW in a different promotion? They don't even have to be wrestling now. But is there? We'll do both because I think it's interesting to highlight both perspectives. Is there a male superstar and a female superstar that you think that didn't like, whether they only had a little bit of a run back then or they really didn't get appreciated, and who would those two be if you think would come back now under Triple H and you think they would absolutely flourish, whether that's on the main roster or NXT?
Ooh, that's interesting. Um, I think for the men, I've always wanted to see Matt Cardona come back, Zack Ryder.
Okay.
I've always wanted to see him come back, and I don't think he ever would. But that would be interesting. Just see if he had a
Yeah.
better booking, better opportunities. Um, I guess kind of the same with Christian, because I know Vince didn't really like him for a long time. So
Yeah.
I would like to see if he would have done better with under Triple H's booking. For the women, yeah, there's probably a lot that I wish, could come back and maybe be booked a little bit differently. Probably a lot of the women from like the 2000s and stuff when women's wrestling just in general wasn't taken seriously, because it does seem like Triple H really does try
Yeah.
to do a good job with them. So I would like to see a lot of people from back then, like a lot of the women, come back and just see in a fantasy world what they could be doing in a world where it's taken seriously.
Right. Right. I think that's
Yeah.
that's I think that's great. So the past two, every time I've asked this question, I've always answered the same. So Eve Torres was a big
Mm,
women's wrestler back then. I would love to see her now. And then a
yeah.
wrestler that Evan Bourne. Not a lot of people know who
Yes.
Evan Bourne is. I think he'd be great, especially
Yes.
down in like NXT. But I think I'm gonna change it up.
Yeah.
I think if I had to choose now, I would do Tony Storm. I mean, like what she's doing over in
Valid.
what she's doing over in AEW. I think they really kind of fumbled with her, and I think bringing her back now, and you have Tony Storm versus the bigger women of wrestling would be.
Mhm.
I'd grab my popcorn. And a male superstar, I saw like a comment the other day, and it was when Ray Phoenix was fighting Berto, and they said Berto kind of reminds him of Justin Gabriel. I don't know if y'all had the pleasure of
Yes.
watching Justin Gabriel, but man, like him when he was with the Nexus,
He was crazy. I really thought that he was gonna be like a big deal. I don't know what happened there.
I I saw the podcast, and it was with Nikki Garcia, Nikki Bella, and she was saying
Mhm.
that they were in talks with the company of potentially bringing back I think the Women Evolution pay per view,
Yeah.
and it would be this summer. So I'm gonna say this now as somebody who's kind of progress. Obviously, I feel like you feel very different, but as a male, because I'm gonna kind of go a certain way with this. I used to not like women's wrestling as much. I used to like
Mhm.
it was just I didn't appreciate it as much as I would always like go to the bathroom when women's matches come on. Now, if a women's all women's pay per view come back, I would go sit front row. I think women's wrestling
Mhm.
has evolved so much. I think that some of the Tiffany and Charlotte match at WrestleMania is something that I am so invested in. I think women's wrestling is awesome. I think it's great. I think for the people who don't appreciate it because it's women, I think they need to go touch some damn grass and know what wrestling is,
Mhm.
because there
Mhm.
are a lot of women's wrestlers out there, women superstars who know how to put on a damn match. Like the SummerSlam last year, the best match on the card in my opinion was Bayley versus Nia Jax. I thought that match
Mhm.
rocked, and I think it was great. So look, before we get out of here, obviously everybody probably knows who Chris Van Vliet is, and when he's done with his, at the end, he kind of asks a question about gratitude. And I don't want to take that because that's kind of his thing, but
Mhm.
happiness is such a big part of my life. There was a
Mhm.
time in my life where I was at a pretty dark time, and there are times where I do get down, but I look back at my most happiest moments in life, whether that's wrestling, whether that's whatever I was doing with family or friends. I want to ask: is there like a time in your life where you were like super happy, or you just had a good time that you look back on and you go, you know what? I was happy back then. Like, is there just any moment in time where you can think of?
Mm, You know, this might sound kind of corny, but I'm living that right now,
Oh,
honestly.
yeah.
I'm so content with where my life is right now because I too like was in a dark space for a pretty long time, like for a lot of my life. Um, and so now that I realize how important it is to take care of yourself and put your mental health first, I I'm so content with my life right now. But yeah, there's times I look back where I'm like, oh, I wish I could like relive that with
Right.
like a more positive mindset because
Right.
I was actually like having a good time.
Right.
But so yeah, I wish I could have appreciated it more, but
I just think
yeah.
I think happiness is such a good thing to spread, especially with
Hmm.
in a very weird time that we are in right now. With
Hmm.
and will this spark some anger? Sure, but I think now there's a lot of people that are too sensitive, and that's not like me even taking shot at people. That's just how life is, you know. And I think spreading positivity between family, friends, making new friends, the people that you do meet, make an impression, you know, because that's kind of my thing as a content creator. I had a goal for 2025, and my goal is I sat nowhere on YouTube. Like I talk like 180 subscribers is a lot. It's not, right? But I sat there for probably 5 years. I I wasn't doing anything, and I was really inconsistent, and I didn't have that audience to go out to, so it was really demotivating. And now with me, my one of my New Year's resolutions was to reach out to people, to stop being afraid, because one of my biggest fears is rejection. I hate it, but to stop
Mhm.
being afraid and to reach out. And awesome people like yourself, awesome people like the people that I've, interviewed in the past, they make it happen. And my life has been changing a lot recently, with me getting married and with me meeting new people
Mhm.
and my channel growing. I think it's awesome. And I think what you do on TikTok, I think your content is so funny. I think that you need to keep doing what you're doing. I think you are going to go places. I mean, I think like I started watching you when you were at like 10,000 followers, and what, now you're at like almost 40,000.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, I'm at like
yeah,
3,000.
so yeah, I've been, and so I think clearly what you're doing is working, and I wouldn't want you to stop for that. I do want to talk to you after this, but guys, if you've enjoyed, please go hit that like and subscribe button. Please go follow her on Instagram and TikTok. She does have a YouTube. I will also put it there.
Oh yeah, I do.
Um,
I do have a
yeah,
YouTube. I
yeah.
forgot about it.
I'm gonna put all of her links in her bio. Please go check her out. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.